is good news in this economy. There are opportunities in this economy. You just have to be brave enough to go out there and ask for them.
It's not about who you know, it's about who knows you. The grocery industry had to come up with a hot chicken for you because you can't decide what you want for dinner. And we study who succeeds, who fails, and why.
Ross Shafer is a former college linebacker who created America's only stereo and pet shop. His humorous approach propelled him into becoming a headlining stand-up comedian and eventually an Emmy Award-winning network television host. But in 1994, Ross shifted his energies into producing 14 human resource training films and writing several best-selling business books on accountability, customer experience, and business relevance.
I'm one of those guys who's always been fascinated by people who can advance their careers in any economy, any environment. So our newest book is titled Absolutely Necessary. These are bulletproof tactics that will put you and your team in high demand. And one trait that makes anyone invaluable is this ability to be able to perform brilliantly under pressure. Now, when I was a talk show host, I hired this quirky aeronautical engineer as a comedy writer. His name is Bill Nye. And one night, a big guest canceled just minutes before airtime. And even though Bill had never been on television, he taught us how confidence and expertise can make high pressure look pretty easy.
I look across at Bill Nye, whose face is buried in his magazine. He's oblivious to our problem. I say, Bill, look up for a second. We have a problem here. Do you have any experiments? Do you have any demonstrations in any of your magazines that would be amusing? Just for a few minutes, I got to put somebody on TV. He doesn't even hesitate. He looks up from his magazine and he goes, yeah, you know, I think I could do something kind of hilarious with a tub of liquid nitrogen. Here's the first time Bill was ever on TV.
Scientists, for example, here's an ordinary onion.
Yeah.
Okay, now how would you dice it? You'd use a cutting board, maybe a knife.
Right. Yeah.
Take you a few minutes, right?
Okay. In the liquid
Into the
nitrogen
liquid
it goes.
nitrogen. Doesn't take long at all.
Isn't that brilliant? So I went up to him afterward and I said, Bill, that was amazing. We have got to have you on and do that again. And he looked at me and he goes, yeah, I'm surprised you guys hadn't already thought of that. You can't think of everything. You can't think of every great idea and great innovation and great sales trick and sales. You can't think of everything. Mine the experience and differences of other people.
You see, I think the Bill Nye story applies to you and your team. I mean, he became absolutely necessary to us because he proved he could consistently see opportunities that we couldn't. And these days, I love going to a meeting where I hear about one small overlooked idea that I know will inspire other companies to either save a lot of money or make millions.
There, and the CEO stands up at the podium and says, here's our problem, we have $5 million in losses here to this. Does anybody know how we can get our pet deposits? Anybody at all? And a hand goes up about midway back in the crowd. Guy from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm always getting my pet deposits. So now you can imagine when everybody turns to this guy. All right, what is it you're doing? Well, I get my pet deposits every time, but I did make an investment. I bought myself a dog whistle. I just go up and down the hall blowing my whistle. I find them dogs. There, they're going over there too. You know what this is? This is a fabulous example of underthinking the problem. A dog whistle? And nobody in that room could figure that out? Because as sophisticated business people, we must think there must be another issue. And it's not. It's simple. They issued dog whistles to everybody in the organization. They've retrieved over $3 million in 10 months. They've got their managers walking them down the hall, blowing their whistles. You got a pet. No, I don't. There he comes up to the door. What's your dog whistle? That's the point. What's happening every day over and over again that maybe you could underthink the problem and ask somebody who is not supposed to be as smart as you are to come up with the answer.
I'm also really curious about what makes certain salespeople successful. And one superstar told me this: the person with the best story wins. That's how you make yourself absolutely necessary to the customer. The best story people know that customers will only buy their goods and services when they buy you first. And they establish that rapport with extreme curiosity and emotion.
When you sell emotion, this is what you do. You show extreme interest in other people. I learned this in broadcasting. When I was a talk show host, we were taught to do something that most salespeople are not taught to do. We were taught to show extreme interest in other people. If we ever hear ourselves talking about ourselves, shut up. It is not about us. For a talk show, we only have these people for 7 minutes. We have to do the best we can do to create instant rapport and get them to open up and say things they would not normally tell other people. I'm going to show you an abbreviated interview that I did with the late billionaire Malcolm Forbes, and I've even ticked off how many questions I asked him.
Well, I want to get to our audience because I know they've got a lot of questions for Malcolm Forbes. Can we do that?
If you were to lose all of your money today, what would you want to do for a living?
Find it.
After that interview, he's a great guest, by the way, he grabs my arm and he goes, you know, Ross, you're a fascinating young man. Would you like to go hot air ballooning with me and Elizabeth Taylor on the weekend? And so on Saturday, I've got Elizabeth Taylor here, Malcolm Forbes here in a hot air balloon in Napa Valley, wondering how did I get in the Billionaire Boys Club? He thought I was fascinating because I was asking questions about him. If you want to have instant rapport with people, if you want to create relationships that get off to on the right foot, focus on them. Those people can't wait to run back and see you so they can talk about themselves.
Meeting planners will sometimes ask me if I can be interactive with their group, and the answer is yes. Engaging people one-on-one is what I did as a comedian and as a talk show host. And you know that some of the best meeting moments have happened when the speaker was able to handle a little unpredictability.
He sends me flowers for no occasion.
No occasion that you know of.
With as much square footage as the motorcycles, they offer motor clothing for women. Wow. Did I just get glaucoma? Is that your phone?